Hello and welcome back to the OGA European Qualifiers. We're here with BDS versus G2 Esports. What a dominant first map from BDS. Great start from them.
Just absolutely bringing it out of the bag. Being able to shut down G2 on their map pick is absolutely crazy. And we'll have to see if they can try and hold on to their map pick, because Constant's ready to go. G2, pressure's on.
Get it one day. We are going to move in, of course, it's going to be BDS, who start on the defense, actually. This is interesting. So this is BDS's map pick, which is, I don't think, any kind of surprise to anyone. G2 have then opted to go to attack first. This is intriguing, because normally we think that Consulate kind of mostly defender-sided, if not a little bit more 50-50, but well, we'll see the same bans are going to be coming out so far, both the Thermite and the Capitao. G2 are probably going to remove the mirror off the board here. No, the Echo, well, BDS is up to them. I think they'll continue to bring the Maestro here because they had such a dominant performance with the Maestro during their defenses on Cafe. So, would argue they'll probably ban the mirror, but it looks like they're thinking about it a little bit about what they actually want to do here in terms of bans. What do you think?
Thermite is only going to be used primarily for the basement anyway, so it just means that that site specifically is a lot more easier to hold for BDS. Everything else is pretty run-of-the-mill type things. Capitao, we know how strong he can be. Echo as well in this map specifically for Garage and even top floor roofs can clutch out a lot of rounds. And there's Valkyrie gone, which is this is her best map. You need to ban it, or if you don't, then you really have to rely on an IQ every single round. So since Echo and Valkyrie is gone, IQ doesn't need to be picked. So that will probably free up G2 for like another operator that they don't have to worry about bringing the whole time.
So if you remember, G2 went against Na'Vi here on Consulate during their, well, I mean, one of the very last players of Pro League, and if G2 lost that match, they would inevitably just fall and they wouldn't be able to make Japan, and that's exactly what happened.
Yep, they couldn't defend it.
They took 5 rounds in a row on their attacks, and then all of a sudden they just fell apart. Then they got 7-5, they completely choked it, and well, this is a map that is absolutely beautiful for BDS, so let's have a look how it's going to go down as we move into round number 1. I don't believe BDS has dropped this in recent history. I think they went flawless during their Challenge League season on it. If I remember correctly.
Yeah, it's been like their best map by far. I think an 89% win rate. And they've played it a bunch, so there is definitely something that you look at and say, hey, this team has the right amount of mojo to go with it. Right off the rip, we're going to see a lobby coming in. We never really see BDS get the opportunity to play Consulate very much, because teams always ban it away. So seeing G2 allow them to have this map is really surprising, especially if you look back to DreamHack Montreal. This is the map that they also played against each other, and BDS beat them 7-2.
Yeah, I mean, this is obviously, we can talk about how dominant this is for BDS across the board, but clearly G2 wanted to take them here. They wanted them to pick the map. They've clearly prepped the map.
Yep.
We'll have a look how it does go down and what G2 have
Can you prep for a Shaiko?
I think you can.
You think you can prep for this?
Yes. You put 5 guns on him and eventually someone will kill him.
Also, looking at the bans from that last map, last time they played Consulate back at DreamHack. There you go. Another C4 kill right off. And Valkyrie and Thermite were banned by BDS, just like here. But last time for G2, they actually banned Clash instead of Echo. Because again, that's another operator BDS are very strong with, and we've seen them play it in Consulate before.
That is true. Let's see if the Clash coming out here so far for BDS, but already a strong start from them. That's nades off the table. Well, one set of nades at least. Goga has brought the other set of nades, and well, Renshiro already picking that again opening kill. That opening death going to Kanto Raketti once more. Not a great start for him.
I really hope Kanto gets his head out of the dirt. Shaiko is starting to put people in the dirt. Uno, he's gone. Another one for Shaiko. James, you can't prep for him. You can't do it. You can't prep for this.
But someone has to eventually kill him, right? You can't kill everyone. You can't get all the kills, Demo.
Yeah, you can, James. A thing called an ace.
Yeah, well, we'll see how that does continue to go down. Fabian makes his way into the side. There goes Shaiko. And all of a sudden, it's a 2v4. This is still an uphill battle to do for G2, but they've got loads of time left to try and make this work. Of course, the defense is actually downstairs, and they managed to make their way into that side just yet. See Goga taking control of the Visa stairs to see what he can do so far. No nades left remaining on the board from him, but I'm going to guess he used one of them to hit the Maestro Cam offline upstairs. And Fabian has actually managed to find his way into sight. Oh, what? He actually wins that kill against RX. He goes down on the rotate. I thought for sure he was going to lose that, but UMP, not so good. Goga and Fabian left remaining on the clock. Just 1 minute.
Fabian, again, just like last time, the only man who can try and salvage a round for G2. He's picked up 2 kills in the heart of the bathroom. Goga is creeping his way in towards Circle Desk, but Fabian, he can't plant in the bathroom. He has to plant somewhere else. Another one for him. And there's 3 kills out of nowhere. Still, though, BDS, they have control of upstairs. They have the vertical angles that they can play against G2. Fabian is now inside of Piano, looking for the plant. He's right below the hatch, though. I think trying to bait off the fact that nobody's going to be in that position, because Rafael, he's on yellow stairs. Renshiro upstairs. Goga has actually came up through Spiral to try and eliminate the guys upstairs, and Fabian is getting the diffuser down, and it has been successfully planted. So pressure on BDS. Renshiro creeps around, knows there's a man on Spiral. Goga hunting for him, nobody, he loses it. Fabian has to win this, has to make this happen for G2. Inside of Piano again, playing the rotation hole. Doesn't know where Rafael is. Renshiro, yes, he's still alive. So that's another thing you have to worry about, Fabian. 4 kills, 1 more to get the ace. The Emperor, he is standing strong. Renshiro chasing up yellow stairs. Oh, Fabian!
Oh my god!
Oh my, all hail Fabian!
A 2v5 clutch coming through, but Fabian, he just put everyone on the board. He gets the ace, the God Emperor, the best player in the world. He brings it in. And G2 off to a much better start here on Consulate, but it was looking a bit squiffy for a while. What a throw from BDS, honestly. Like, the crouch walking Gabbana just makes his way into sight and just takes down everyone. I cannot believe that RX let him have that kill.
BDS. Bit of a throw. A major throw. And it has gave G2 the lead off the bat of Fabian carrying everyone. But you need more people from G2 stepping up. You can't rely on them. Yes, we know that Fabian is the best player in the world. Self-proclaimed, of course. Not statistically. But still, whenever he wants to win a match, he is so dangerous as a player, James.
What's interesting about that, like you say, statistically, even though that G2 didn't win Pro League this season, they didn't manage to get top 2, Pengu actually finishes the highest rated player in EU Pro League. So that should probably tell you a little bit something about G2 and how they're playing the game today. We'll have a look as we move into round number 2, but there's a little bit of hope now for G2 to try and bring this in, but BDS still looking very, very dominant. A little bit of a throw from them, but they can still bring it back as we'll go to a console off his defense. Don't forget as well, like, BDS technically kind of went to an offsite there, so they can't be too unhappy about losing that round.
So we head upstairs to the top floor and towards meeting room. Mira makes an appearance. An operator which sometimes does see a heavy ban rate in Consulate, but it's not the biggest worry. Most of the Mira windows that she has available to her, they're very easy to take control of. The only real bomb site we see her really hunker down, and it's a bit tricky for the attackers to get rid of the Mira windows, is the basement inside of office. Top floor, most of the Mira windows that she will place are easily shot out from windows or just simply going below with a buck. So like, they're not the greatest. This is an intriguing one by BDS, because they have placed the Mira window looking into connector and meeting, but now they're very susceptible to a quick window repel. But whenever they know G2 are full on going for the admin clear out, this could be what they need.
Well, Z, is getting control of this front office and already trying to make his way in, goes for the Ash pre-fire, but not able to find a kill just yet. This is looking very, very good for G2 because they've already got that admin control side, and they can start to begin their push onto the site itself. But they need that control of long desk before Fabian can make any kind of damage with his X-Carriers onto that long desk wall. And it looks like that is exactly the push that they're going to try and do here.
G2 have really picked up the pace. They have been able to clear admin by about the 2-minute mark. Now they're already set up in towards vending machines. They're having their flank watch protection, and I wonder if Goga is going to try and opt for the destructibility from below, because that is, again, viable. You're bringing the buck for that reason. You also have nades that you can try and toss up in. But there is a bit of C4 denial, though, from BDS. They have the pulse below, who's now skirted away in towards lobby and takes a couple of shots. Kanto, this time with an opening kill. That's different from him.
And his first opening kill of the series is Fabian is going to try and punt the diffuser. The smokes are going to go down, and he's just going to get the heck out of there right now. And Shiro's still below, however, no longer having a nitro available to himself, and the nitro from RX is going to go out, but it's going to find its target, as Uno will find his target. Renshiro just go down. This is looking very dominant for G2. All of a sudden, as Uno finds another one, Smoke is going to go out as well, but Uno finally going to get shut down by Panics. And now a 4v2, all between Raphael and Panics to try and bring this in. Raphael holding the very long angle down, of course, as well. Smoke's kind of blocking his sightline right now, as Panics is going to try and push all the way up. He's used all of his remote gas grenades. Now he sees him through the smoke. Pengu's out of it. Now it's a 3v2. This is very winnable for BDS right now. They still have all the control, but G2 do have that man advantage, but no more! Panics with a triple kill on the round. Kanto's out of it. It's all down to Fabian and Goga to try and bring this in. Still a wrong angle, right foul, no! Headshot from him, but leaves it all into the hands of Goga to try and bring this in. And a 1v2, he's got to know where the Raphael is. He goes for the pre-fires, expecting the reverse mirror angle, but no! He'll get shut down. BDS will take round number 2. What a throw from G2.
So BDS last round, they threw a 2v5.
Yep.
This time G2, they threw a 2v5. That's a bit of a sour taste for G2 right now. It was looking as if G2 were finally looking like the team we know them for, being very dominant, and their aggressive nature of how they can easily change the pace of a game down to themselves. They're very dictative in how they kind of play out their rounds, and it usually forces whoever team they're playing against, they always have to follow the melody of G2. But in that scenario, I don't understand why, if you have a 2v5 advantage, you have a minute to go, you know where they're going to be playing behind the mirror window. Why not send one single player? You have a minute to do so. Eliminate the guy behind the mirror window, looking in towards meeting, and that's the round.
Yeah,
all because they had that mirror window for the vision and the smoke being able to coordinate the throws. That's all it took.
As soon as that pulse went offline, they should have had that connector window control, like, immediately.
That was
they should
it.
be able to take it down.
Don't get it. Really
I think that also, like, G2 were really worried about runouts as well from that pulse. And yeah, like, as soon as he went down, there really should have been a repel come out. I think they were kind of eager not to move outside and just to continue to push down instead. I think this is why they brought the Nomad this time, so they don't have to worry about any of those kind of rotates coming out. Something that Shas talks about on Consulate as well is that the big issue with this map is not the early game roam, but the late game rotates. There's 3 staircases that connect you from the basement all the way to the top floor.
And the verticality you can also gain. We've seen before in the dying seconds, a defender has went in towards piano, opened up above an attacker planting, and that's the round done. Just because that roam game can also be a great coordinator whenever there's operators like Mosley, who we know can bring that sidearm shotgun to the defense and then utilize the destructibility. It makes a lot of sense. BDS, though, here comes the clash that we mentioned. They're a very strong team with this operator. One of the only teams that I kind of think really know how to make this operator shine. G2 previously, they usually did ban this operator away from BDS, but it's the Echo instead. I wonder how this one's going to work. I wonder if G2, now they know how to play against the clash from BDS, leaving that open for a reason.
There's a lot of counters to Clash here. I mean, you've got 2 sets of nades on the table, you've got plenty of flashbangs on the table, and of course we have the air jabs from Nomad. So there's plenty to deal with this Clash right now, but we'll see if they are going to be able to deploy it against RX.
So surprisingly from BDS, they're just going to give G2 the control of piano pretty much. So again, coming back to what you mentioned, the late rotates. I wouldn't say that so far BDS have really shown us a very well-structured roam game. It's been very spread out, and I've been really relying on players like Shaiko to make those big, massive plays. So they're allowing G2 to have this control, but whenever they are trying to play like a retake kind of strategy, this is where Clash comes in really handy.
Yeah, no, definitely. You get a kind of like mobile mirror window upon the board, and she's going to be able to play quite aggressively on those. He also says, she can waste a lot of utility if attackers trying to deal with it too early.
Flashbangs, a lot of them usually being thrown at her for some reason. Let's throw a flashbang at somebody we can't kill. Oh, Goga, be careful now, as he will start to begin the redestruction. And, well, I think for G2 now, a minute to go, you have your pressure being applied by Goga. Wall is slowly but surely being opened. I don't see how they lose this. This should just be an easy lockout.
Oh.
And there's the big plays from Shaiko that we talked about. 2 kills for him. Oh, the destroyer of hopes and dreams strikes again.
That must have been an insane flick from Shaiko to kill the guy outside garage and then to kill the guy on yellow as well. But Pengu is going to find the refrag onto Shaiko. Now turning into a 3v4. Diffuser is down, however, just outside the garage. Pengu's going to have to try and recover that if he wants to make something work here. Last 30 seconds of the round, Kanto's going to rotate down onto yellow, and Goga does have the rotates from above as well, so definitely winnable right now. But we see the push-up coming out from pipes from RX. The Nades are going to go down as well to make sure that no one can push this diffuser right now, but Penguin needs to get into sight and needs to start doing something. You know, smokes are going to go out from Panics, making sure that they can't push the other side of White Van. They're going to know where they're coming from. Kanto gets one, but Renshiro, oh, Kanto with a double kill. Panics and Rafael both off the board. The Maestro cams are still up, however. Kanto moves all the way in to try and get the diffuser back, but no, it's going to be a bit too late, and BDS will take round number 3.
The Riot Control coming in big for BDS, being able to keep Kanto at bay.
Yeah.
The power of Maestro really shining through, and an operator that we see generically be banned away from like a lot of teams during like NA region. We see that being a big ban for consulate maps. But in this scenario, gonna echo Valkyrie off the board. But still, the fact that you can place those Maestro cameras behind Black Car and also underneath the White Van, and you can see the entirety of that garage and also outside of the breach. We've seen times where Maestro has literally killed opponents who are just outside of the car towards the driveway. So it's really strange to see kind of how that mechanic plays out, but it's so strong. And whenever it is left open, obviously BDS, they're gonna make use of that.
Yeah, well, we'll see a lobby press room defense come through once again for BDS. This was the only site that they've dropped so far, and they did kind of throw it away. Fabian, of course, getting his own ace here. So, we'll see how this does go down. BDS did have a really strong start to this round, however, they took Kanto off the board immediately with a Nitro. So, we'll have a look on how they want to do this exactly, and they've brought the exact same load they brought last time. Looks like the exact same strategy coming out from them, but G2 have opted to bring the Nomad once more.
G2 not really playing around with their picks. Very basic. You're bringing 2 sets of nades, so that's obviously going to help with some key positions. You don't have the Capitao, of course, which would typically be used for like clearing out specific positions. If you think the massive like table in towards meeting room, you fire that. Sometimes we see inside of meeting room a shield would be accompanied into the corner, and that can be a very difficult one to deal with as well.
One interesting mechanic of frag grenades as well at the moment is that obviously you used to be able to pick them up and throw them back if they were just idle on the ground.
Back in the day, yeah.
Yeah, you can't do that anymore. So in a way, frag grenades can act as area denial because you don't really want to be near that frag grenade if it's been thrown down because you have no idea how long it's been held down for unless you really do hear it go down. So, we'll hear exactly how it's going to go through as Kanto already makes his way through into the basement, crouch walking all the way. I think this is GT's superpower now. That's what they need to bring out because when Fabian got his ace, he got like 4 kills just purely crouch walking.
Are they looking just to walk into B? Potentially, they're single-man droning Kanto in. So just the one guy with about 50 drones in front of him. And G2, they've really livened up. A big amount of time is being dedicated into getting Kanto into the perfect position where he can just coordinate everything. So now they have spiral control. But in the long term, how much does this help them if there is still an upstairs meeting room being held by BDS?
Oh, this is great rotate from Kanto, and he's going to get a pre-fire into Panics, and already he has control of the bathroom. This is looking really good for G2 all of a sudden, as Panics goes down in sight, but Renshiro from above is going to try and open up some vertical play, as well as RX and Shaiko. As Shaiko's going to drop down into lobby, they are going to pick him up on the rotate, and there goes Kanto as well. No refrag coming through from Pengu on the rotate. What is happening? He's going on the upside down rappel though, and Shaiko isn't able to see him do that. It's going to be Fabian actually, sorry, on that rappel. Drones are going to go out in heavy amounts. G2 off to a really good start to this round, however. We've only got about a minute left to go on the clock.
Great play from Kanto. Oh, the swing in, but Renshiro hears that, and that should be an easy pick-off. No, misses the shots with the Roni. And G2, they're in the bomb site, but Fabian on such low HP, potentially just a single bullet will finish him. RX giving constant information, but Pengu still fires on through. There's the pickup from RX. Oh, but there's a swing in upstairs, and BDS, they crumble. G2, Kanto Rocchetti off the back of that play he made has really gave them that surge of energy.
Yeah, Kanto's definitely stepped up the board a little bit more during this map than he was on Cafe. He's picked up a couple of opening kills for himself, and G2 have also secured a couple of rounds for themselves. Let's see how things go down as we move to round number 5. The penultimate defense coming off from BDS, and while BDS aren't looking as dominant as they were on Cafe, they're still looking pretty good and things are quite even. So this is kind of the matchup we were expecting them. I think this is a lot closer, and this is kind of the scoreline we were expecting.
But now the core sites are unlocked for BDS. They get that top floor, they get the garage. A lot of pressure now on G2. See if they can pull away with... I think an even split is great to get on the attacking side. I feel as if Consulate is very defender-sided with the things that they kind of go with. You think about the multitude of windows you can jump out from. Of course, Nomad being a very big prevalent pick by G2. For obvious reasons, you just can't allow Shaco to have his freedom and to jump out in every window known to mankind. And I think overall for defense, the Garage is very strong with the addition of Mira and Maestro being allowed in.
Oh yeah, definitely. But we'll move into round number 5. We'll have a look what BDS want to do here. Once again, not going to be bringing the Clash, but this time they're bringing the Clash for upset. If you remember correctly, they brought the Mirror here, and it was kind of a throw from G2 before. I think they kind of overextended and they didn't have control of that connector window. But this time, no Mirror. Instead, we do have that mobile Mirror.
So I know that we said that, yes, defense is very favored on this map specifically, but the last time they played Consulate, it was actually a 5-1 split on the attacking half for BDS. So they took 5 attacks against G2 in this map. And they still have to do that. Again, they have to go for the attacks. And perhaps if they're favored in that matchup to take those attacks, and G2 looking very feeble on the defense, oh, it's going to be really close then, isn't it?
To be fair, that was on LAN. And LAN plays very differently to the online mode, but... well, we'll have a look how that does work out when we see BDS's attack, but for now, we still see them on this defense, and Goga is going to make his way below, and Pengu going to be joining him all out and seeing exactly what's going on benches and yellow stairs, as this is going to be the push from G2. We do see RX, however, trying to shoot this all down as frag grenades are going to go out. The ADS is going to get burned. Flashbang's going down to confirm there's no ADS there, but no nade is going to find RX just yet.
Well played by Clash. No Capita, of course, means this a little bit more difficult for G2 to deal with, but still a myriad of nades that they can toss in. But this is great time denial and utility waste just from G2. They aren't really having anything to go with. Sure, there's pressure from below. They have a skeleton key that can start ripping up some of the wooden floors, but still, as long as BDS hold control of yellow, they have nothing to worry about.
Yeah, I mean, you need that yellow control if you're going to go for the console side push. RX still holding it down, however, as smokes are going to go out from Panics, making sure that they can't quite push up. As Shaco trying to play very close behind RX to try and make something happen here, but Fabian isn't going to let him have it. Shaco goes off the board. Great early pick coming out from the Habana yet again, as Pengu finds one of his own.
Finally, G2 on their attack, looking very stable. Still, though, this Clash is going to be charged down and should be killed, but no, backs away. Well timed by herself, but Uno now inside of bathroom, and this is an unfavorable position if you're RX. Stuck between a rock and a hard place, and both the Finns trying to breathe down his neck and eliminate him. But he's still alive, he's still here, and of course, whenever BDS have Rafael in the back, who could try and combo with him, Renshira has been down, diffuser being planted, G2, they have all the angles covered, and BDS not in a position to try and stop this diffuser. Goes to the quick switch and now tries to run it in, eliminates Yellow, tries to go in towards bathroom as well, but G2, they have it on lock, and they pull through. 3-2, they lead.
I was amazed at how much the Clash was allowed to survive there.
Just stood there. It's like, what's up, guys? I'll stay here, you stay there.
He actually played it really well. Like, I was really impressed how RX played that yellow position. But unfortunately, his teammates will fall, and G2 will start up on the attack, looking very good for themselves. I mean, even if they lose this, we kind of said like an even split, it's pretty good for G2 here. So, surprisingly, Consulate not looking too good all of a sudden for BDS. But we also haven't seen their attacks yet, and we just said about how dominant they are on the attack here. So, well, we'll have a look how things go down as we move to a cafeteria and garage defense here for BDS.
Two sides of a coin, isn't it, James? It's the attack and the defense, both very different for each team. That I feel, for the most part, defenders, teams prefer the defense. They just like having the control of just the defender operators. I think right off the rip, it sets you up, because the way Siege plays out is that as an attacking unit, you don't really make the strategies. You have to play around the strategy that the defense set up first. So it's like defenders, they set up shop, and it's up to G2 to see what they want to try and buy.
Yeah, that's quite
you just have to try and just ponder, what do you want to get from it?
Well, we'll see what G2 are in store for today, as we'll see their final attack as we do go to OT. It's going to be the garage defense. This last time was such a dominant site for BDS. They had everything on lock whatsoever. It was really good usage of the flasher as well. But like, Kanto was actually able to pick up a couple of kills from there, but ultimately BDS win because Kanto was not able to move quick enough to re-pick up that diffuser. because
a lot
of the
of
clash.
barbed wire. That's like 6 pieces there.
Yeah.
3 of them along the front of the
With
breach,
the clash
2 on
as
yellow.
well.
They're really trying to slow down G2 for that final push. But G2, they know once again, there's really haven't been a whole lot of roamers. There has been very little pressure that BDS have tried to apply. But I do see a lurking Shaiko towards the tellers kind of area and towards the staircase. So he may be up and trying to get something for his team, give that first kill advantage. And to be fair, whenever G2, if they lose like the first guy, especially if Cafe's anything to go off, they look very weak. They slow down and they don't really know where to go from there.
Definitely do, and we'll see how things do go down. G2 moving quickly through the map. However, Rafale going to pick up the very
Massive
first kill of the round. Goga going to go down. Do you know what Rafale means in French? It means gust. It's also a type of fighter jet, I think.
You know what Shaiko means in French?
Kill everyone?
Destroyer of hopes and dreams.
Okay, fair enough.
It actually doesn't, but we'll work with it.
Sure.
So that's the butt gone. Huge kill for BDS. Goga cannot create these angles to try and put the defenders under pressure. Would have been great to have the skeleton key to at least make RX back away from yellow. He can't step there as freely. Shaiko, who was looking for a bit of a roam game, and since then came back to site and will try and coordinate with RX, who again, this kind of roaming mirror window gives so much information. Nomad, just trying to get some air jabs sent in to try and neutralize the clash. And RX just barely dodges out of that, and the quick push in, but the cover being held by Shaiko again, the coordination for both these players, it's great to see, James.
Definitely is, but Kanto's going to find one of his own. However, Shaiko is going to go down. Nice refry coming through. We'll have a look at how it is going to be starting to play out. So only 3v4, however, call it a 2v4 as Renshiro takes Uno straight off the board. Katsuroketti trying to do the work here onto yellow, but we saw him play a very similar position last time, and he was able to pick up a decent amount of kills here. Badminton's going to slowly rotate into side, but know he's there. Kanto takes down one, Renshiro's off the board, and they're going to try and get to site and try and get this control ring. Kanto doesn't have too much utility left remaining, but he still has these lifelines. He should be able to take this Clash off the board quite easily. Flashman's going to go down. Panic's trying to play behind RX to see what he can do here, but oh, what a shot from Panic's! Fireman's off the board. It's all down to Katsuroketti to make something happen. The Clash very heavily harassing him right now. He does have lifelines on the board, but it would be a heavy risk to try and bring it out. He needs to find this kill onto Panic's if he wants to stand a chance at bringing this in. Lifelines are going to go out, however, onto both teams. They're going to know exactly where Panic's is right now. Kanto should know where he is. Going to take him down. That's a triple kill for Kanto, but no! The gun comes out from RX, and he picks up the kill and the knife at the end. BDS takes round number 6, and it's all going to be evened up at 3 apiece.
Really well played by RX, knowing that Kanto went for the Hail Mary, let's just eliminate the smoke, pulls out the gun. It's another thing about Clash. Yes, she is that kind of object that doesn't really do anything to you, but she can just easily swap out to that SMG.
Kanto knows that he has to get the kill onto Panic.
He played it right, I just think RX played it better. That's all it was.
RX has been playing Clash absolutely so efficiently this series. I mean, even though he hasn't been flawless on it, he's done so well. Like, the way that he played yellow as well in the previous round, just absolutely beautiful. But we'll see BDS are going to move on to the attack. And we said, their attack side, the last time they faced G2, very, very dominant. And
5-1 split.
Kind of feeling like this is why G2 wanted to start attack.
Do you think this is now where we see the counter-strike from G2 really come in? Because overall, for their attacks, it looked pretty G2 standard to me. It was very solid. I feel for G2, if they're taking this map against BDS, which we know it's their best map by far, they have to have studied everything that BDS do on the attack, because that's the strong point for BDS. But defense and Consulate, last time they played this one, Na'Vi pretty much got the ticket to Japan from there.
It was
a reverse sweep.
Choke by G2.
Yes.
It was upsetting.
5-1 up, went in the defense, crumbled.
Well, I mean, this is going to be the defining factor, right? If G2 don't choke on their defenses on Consulate here, they can bring this in. I mean, Bank is a very good map for G2. I mean, they can definitely do the work there, but yeah, I'm very worried now. This round is going to be very defining of how the rest of the series is going to play out now, because BDS can take this round dominantly. I just do not see G2 taking the series.
Now we move in to the first defense for G2. It will be for that top floor. No Mira being distributed by them, which is like another operator that we've kind of talked upon. We've seen how BDS tried to use her. I wouldn't say like the strongest operator that Well, to be fair, that smoke kind of thing had a big thing going for them, but it was down to, I would say, G2 really sleeping on that mirror window. Straight away for BDS, in towards the admin they go. Panics, first blood, Uno gone, a C4 more importantly, James.
Really good early pick coming out from Panics there, of course. And you are quite right, Demo. That is a C4 off the board. You're not going to go down so early on. Not a great start for G2 here whatsoever. Drone will go and throw on the balcony, however, and they should be able to start droning out the site as well. G2 still holding strong, however. We're only about a minute into the round, though, so it's very hard to judge about the progress. But we still got Goga down below, and he's also got a C4 of his own. So we're still threatening that C4 planted now.
Pengu will be the first man to come under a lot of fire, I reckon, from BDS. The nades trying to be tossed in by probably Panics, I'd imagine, and a bit of pressure as well being applied in towards the actual doorway. Smoke from the Jackal gets tossed in to perhaps cover, or perhaps bait Pengu into using some of his utility. That could have been a reason why they've done it. And G2 now, they're very on edge. As long as Pengu's alive, though, they do have a bit of a chance. Upside down repel, and Pengu, he was lucky enough to dodge out of that one. Shaiko, though, still firing on through, eliminates Fabian. Maestro gone, the big angle that was being held in towards the bathroom. Now, all of a sudden, for G2, they need to play out of their skin to make this happen, James.
Pengu going to play very aggressively, however. You just see there's a Claymore right here. He's out of utility, so he has no reason not to play as aggressively. He gets it, Shaiko! That's a great kill coming out from Pengu, and he's looking for the other one, but no, will get traded off efficiently by Panics, and now they'll bring it into a 2v4. This is looking really good for BDS right now, as Kanto and Goga last ones on the board here for G2 to try and make something happen. Only 40 seconds left to go on the clock, but Goga will find one, and he's still got the Nitro downstairs as well. How did that happen?
Just a quick flank up through Visa stairs. Kanto, the only man on site. You see now, Nomad was hunting for Goga, but he's won that gunfight as well. 2v2, and G2, they've swung it back into their favor. Goga, the MVP of the round, and RX all by himself towards the connector window. Kanto has his number, he has to go for the swing, and instead will go up to the rooftop, save the KD, have a little time to talk about what went wrong. And well, G2, somehow they hold that together, James.
Well, I think RX is going to try and repel into the bathroom here, but he's completely out of time now. And plus he pulls off some insane miracle right now. He's not going to be able to bring it in. And G2 will clinch the round. A 4v2 clutch coming out from Goga and Kanto Raketti. Will manage to bring it in for G2. Things looking much, much better for them now. Because now, okay, that's a solid defense from them coming out. They've definitely able to clinch it. They know how to play that console office. And we'll see a lobby press room come out from them this time, however.
BDS dropping the first attack, where we really thought it was going to go in their way, but Goga, just great flank, taking BDS off the edge that they were teetering on.
Ooh.
Split bomb site. Alrighty, now I'm intrigued.
So, this is interesting. We are going to see Fabian moving off the Bandit and onto the Pulse instead. I like that sick pick because the Bandit makes you think it's going to be Garage, because where else do you really bring the Bandit?
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by
Yeah,
attackers.
that's very true. You look at Bandit as an operator whole. Don't think top floor really has a say in it. Neither does mid floor, neither the split bomb site. Because really, I think the matter of fact of Bandit is that he's only going to be brought to counter hard breaching operators.
Yeah.
Hard breaching operators are only really viable on said garage anyway.
Yeah, you're completely right. So, we'll see how things go down. Moving to round number 8. We'll have a look exactly what BDS want to do. They had a really good start to their previous attack round.
10 seconds left.
You know, really good starts don't make your rounds. They can't pick it up. They might find themselves going to bank sooner than we thought.
I really like the Pulse pickup from G2. Pulse, this is his best map by far. The fact that the map is very small in depth means that he can literally pulse every corner of this map and figure out how many's on what side. And generically, the way Console plays out, you either attack east or you attack west. There's no in between. You have to commit to one side and one side only. And if Fabian can try and figure out where they're all going to be coming from, he sees 3 heartbeats. That signifies to them, oh, they're going to try and push in towards admin, which is expected by many teams. I like the fact that G2 has reinforced the garage because it gives them a little bit of safety features, I think, in towards that. You don't have to worry about like a lone buck or like a sledge just pushing by themselves. But for BDS, they're not really interested in that side of the map. They're more all about the admin. Will try and work their way in. But then again, G2, they have the Pulse. They have only the one C4. Would have liked to see another one, though.
Yeah, I would have liked to see that. Another C4 coming out, maybe like a mute pick coming out from Pengu or something like that, but Well, it's not meant to be
Mozzie
at
would've been
all.
good.
Mozzie would have been good here as well, but we won't see any of that come out so far. We'll see air jabs, however, going to be coming out from Rafal. We'll see what he can do here. Sledge is going to be opening up the bottom here, but Fabian and Goga both finding early kills. That Nitro with a great kill on Branchero, and Shaco off the board as well. So big important kills, and this is a nice angle from Goga as he finds another one through. Rafal goes down, and this is looking squiffy as hell for BDS, as they are going to go down all across the board. It's all down to Panics all of a sudden.
G2 were just lining up their angles, waiting for BDS to peek into them, and they did. Panics 1v5. How do you do this one then? Is G2, all of them in full HP. There's 2 nades still, but I think they know where he is. Up inside of admin they go. There's a bit of pressure being applied by the roaming defenders, but not enough that kind of gives himself away. Still playing very patient, not allowing Panics to have any hope at all of a clutch. We'll try and sledge on in towards the break room. We'll get met by Uno on the vigil. There's Kanto trying to finish him off, and he will do so. G2 flawless on the split bomb site. That Tellers didn't really get to see it unfold, James. Everybody was dead within the first minute.
Just absolutely excellent angles being held there, especially like Goga taking 2 off the board, taking Shaco and Rafal both off the board within that really tight angle up onto the admin hatch. That is just great counter-striking right from G2, knowing that BDS are going to heavy take from admin side, and they're not going to go garage that heavily. Really good stuff coming out so far from G2, so they're definitely looking a little bit more dominant on Consulate here. We might just have a game on our hands here, Demo, as we go to a lobby press room defense, and we see the mirror going to be coming out. I think also, as well, sick picking that bandit again, making you think maybe they're going to go basement, maybe they're going to go to garage now.
Consulate is that map which has all 4 bomb sites available, similar to how we would compare it to Coastline. You look at probably Bank as well you'd throw in there. I think we've seen a fair share of open area, which will be our decider as well, keep in mind. So stay tuned for that if we get there, but it's up to G2 to decide if they do want to make it to a 3rd map or not. You look at Villa, you look at Border, maps which don't have the most favorable 3rd bomb site picks, and that's where teams can kind of like play around with some operators that they choose. If you look at this map, every single bomb site's defendable, so I feel that the attackers always need to bring a setup that deals with every single site regardless. Sure, you may have suspicion where they're going to, but the fact that there could be that 2nd option pick, you always have to be on edge.
Yeah, you definitely do have to be on the edge. What do you think about the double French being brought by G2? I know you love a bit of double French.
Attacker's objective is to defuse
It's
the
fun
bomb.
for Consulate, which is a very long map in terms of the killing potential from spawn peaks and the long angles you can gain from like Spiral, picking heads outside in towards the main gate. Whenever you have that retake potential of ACOGs where you can challenge long angles, like generically, whenever we see this kind of bomb site play out, well, the way it used to be was you always planted at the front door, you'd smoke the crosses, and then once that plant went down, there was little options really for the defense to retake. And if you do have those ACOGs, it gives you that long-range engagements that you could potentially win. It just gives it a little bit more of a safety factor if the plant ever does come in. And plus, I think having the extra bit of bulk doesn't go amiss. Like, there's 4 heavies right there, James.
Yeah, and just having the ACOGs, being able to peek out everything, being able to be aggressive, and we've seen G2 already having that aggression, and they're going to be able to shut down quite a lot of stuff coming down. See air jobs going out across all of the areas, but BDS are worried about those jump outs coming out from G2. But we've seen BDS not be able to step it up too much on their attacks. Let's see if they can find at least one around here. Don't forget, we did see a very similar start for BDS during their defenses. So, we'll have a look how this is going to go down. Mirror window will finally get deployed upstairs. CG2 still aggressively holding on. Kanto suffering a little bit of damage, however, is going to finally dock himself, and Kanto continuing to push this out as a shotgun comes out from below from Pengu to be able to give Kanto a bit of a rotate.
BDS, not really anything to go off at the moment. There is the 2 fraggers, RX and Shaco, looking for an opening, but G2 very spread out. A couple of people in towards the basement as well. Minute 20 to go. I wonder if BDS are gearing up for the piano push, where you try and swing in towards the windows, which actually has seen a bit of a surge of play, which I'm really surprised where it came from, but hey, if it works for teams, it works. I wonder if G2 have everything stationed available to kind of stop that. Not a whole lot of pressure if that push does come in. They're not holding that CEO as heavy as what you would expect them to. Fabian still gunning away, the man who's really stepped up for G2 whenever the going does get tough, and still continuing on with that trend.
Yeah, great early pick coming out from them. Panic's going to go down those nades now off the table. BDS have to try and get some refrags on the board, but they don't really have too much control right now. I mean, they've run out of time, really, if you think about it. They're just going to try and get in, and Rafale's just going to immediately start going for the plant. They have that upstairs angle, but Rafale is going to go down to Uno, but RX is going to trade it onto Kanto. RX is going to find another killer, but no! Is going to get wide peeked out by the Rook of Goga. And this is not looking good at all. Shaiko does manage to find one, and Pengu is injured, of course. So now turn it into a technical 2v1. Pengu's going to get revived, however, Shaiko going to try and chase these kills. 3v1 to see what he can do. Finds one, but no! Is not being able to find it himself. Goga is actually going to trade with Shaiko there.
Doesn't really matter as long as they get the kill. G2, well, oh my, they've really pulled it back, and they are on match point for a change. The map which we kind of thought was going to be BDS's all day of the week, 24/7, 365. But no, clearly that pick was intentional because G2 have read BDS like a book on their attacks.
Yeah, this is great counter-striking coming out from G2 all across the board. They're definitely very, very prepared for this. Also see match point has developed now, and G2 one round away from taking this to our third map of Bank. Cider and saving this series for themselves, but BDS still in the running here. Don't forget, like, G2 started off very badly on their attacks as well, so BDS definitely have the opportunity to start to bring it in, but they definitely need to step up to the board if they don't want to go to Bank.
Big ask now for BDS to pull 3 defenses in a row, and G2, they get to have this top floor as well, and you would kind of expect from how they had it last time, they should lock it down. You know, I thought BDS, yes, they set up really nicely, but it was just the late game that they couldn't really get their hands to the steering wheel and try and drive it home for them. So looking at the lineups from G2, Pulse comes in instead of the Mute, and also we're seeing an Alibi be brought in to the fray of things. That's unusual.
We talk about Alibi a decent amount. We've seen her a lot on Coastline, where I think is really the only map where she's very viable as an operator.
Club sometimes as well.
Seen her a bit on Club, yeah. But I think, like, utility-wise, not the best on Consulate, but...
Well, you look at her. She has impacts for rotations. She has a Bela for destructibility as well. An amazing gun. Top 5 in my eyes. And also can bring the shield as well, which is something that you kind of like, is that the kind of... The way things were changed with operators losing shields and then some gaining shields. The gadget is still like very underwhelming for me. I feel as if you're playing this operator, it's for everything else she gets in her kit. And possibly it might just be for that reason. Like, you can't really go wrong with bringing an Alibi for the gun. It's like the way that Twitch has been brought for the attackers. Gadget doesn't really do much, but it's just the gun that's like the main takeaway.
Oh, we'll see drones going out in heavy amounts from BDS across the board. Not seeing exactly what they want to do with all of this. They're going to go for that again, admin side take. G2 should be prepared for all of this. Don't forget, like, this was a throw the last time the BDS went here for their attacks. They had a really big advantage. They did a 4v2. And it just all got thrown away by Kanto. And this was looking really good as well. Like, Goga on the roam was just doing so much work. He's not going to be playing that Mute anymore. He's going to be playing, of course, that Alibi we've just been talking about. But regardless, should be going pretty well. Something that was interesting about the last time that G2 played this is that Pengu was playing this projector area. He was playing it so aggressively. He'd already used all of his smokes with not even a minute left to go on the clock. And he just decided to keep playing it aggressive. But Kanto Raketti picks up the first kill of the round. Rafale already off the board with a great run out from Kanto, as Uno with a Nitro picks up RX, but Renshiro strikes back. Pengu just go down. As a smoke off the board. That should be an easy projector hold now.
Yeah, now if you look for G2, they've have the first 2 opening kills, but they have lost their smoke in return. Kanto tries to fire in free towards the bathroom, but Renshiro has the response. Panic's going for the plant. Where's Uno? Why was he not below? Renshiro gets an easy freebie, and Goga has to rely on the information being gathered by the Maestro camera. This should be an easy 2-piece form, and yes, it will be. The Spaniard picks it up, picks up the pieces, James. The MX4 Storm, what did I tell you? That's why you play it.
Absolutely great flank coming out from Goga, who's really stepped up to the mark here on Consulate. He's had quite a number of kills on that. And yeah, really much more dominant performance coming out from G2 there. So we've seen 2 really dominant performances coming out from each team. We've got a really nice series on our hands here so far.
One more map still to go, James. So it's not over.
Yeah, we're going to be heading to Bank as our decider.
P-break.
And also we're going to have a bio break coming up from G2. So we're going to have to take a little bit of a break for ourselves, but we'll be back in just a moment with our third map of Bank.
Predict the outcome, win the game. Get live coverage and schedules for your favorite tournaments. Analyze, predict, and vote to gain points. Compete with other esports fans and climb the leaderboards. Strafe, everything esports. Download now on iOS and Android.